Hey, what's on your menu tonight, huh? Burgers?
Ooh, that sounds good.
Steaks? Pot roast?
Love it.
Oh, those are all delicious, protein-packed options.
Well, our next guest says, though, you should be having protein on your plate all day long to avoid crashing, burning, and craving carbs.
Evil carbs.
The worst. Here to help us pack our protein pantry, we welcome back registered dietitian Rasa Troup to Twin Cities Live. Hi, Rasa. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this protein deal, because it's easy to say let's eat more protein, but what are we saying? How much do we really need in a day?
So typically we'd like to aim for 25 to 30 grams for each meal and the snacks. So it helps you to be more satisfied throughout the day. It helps you to be much better throughout the energy levels throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it helps you to regulate your blood sugars as well.
Because a lot of us, I think, are thinking, oh, protein and vegetables is a super healthy dinner to have, but then you don't think about the protein in your diet for the rest of the day.
Yeah, so a lot of times the biggest mistake that our clients do as a dietitian is that they don't eat enough for the breakfast. So we want to make sure that we spread the protein throughout the day. There's no one most important meal. A lot of times we hear the breakfast is the most important meal, but I think that all of the meals are very important.
Okay.
Just because we need to make sure we have energy throughout the entire day.
So let's stock the pantry, hey?
Yeah, let's start at that
Let's do it,
delicious end of the
yes.
table. What's down there?
Absolutely. So in order to get the protein, it's not that hard, but you need to be very creative and prepared for it. So if you look at the meats and eggs, those are very easy ways to get the protein. If you look at beef or eggs or beef sticks, typically about 3 ounces would provide you 25 grams or so. But again, you don't have to get all of the protein just from the meat. There's a variety of ways to get it.
Steve's going for a beef stick. He can't
Don't
help
mind if
himself.
I do, Rasa.
But look at this is interesting, Rasa, because this is showing, I mean, the grams that you're getting. I mean, in a 3-ounce strip steak, that's a small steak.
Yes, it's very small steak. It's typically a palm of your hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, or a deck of the cards.
I like the size of my chest usually for a steak. Make it yay big.
Now, dairy is another option when it comes to getting in some protein throughout the day. I mean, Greek yogurt is getting a lot of attention for the amount of protein it has.
Exactly. The Greek yogurt varies in protein, so it can be anywhere from 13 to 24 grams of protein. So making sure you have the yogurt that has a little bit more protein.
So check your labels.
And supplement with nuts or seeds or having some granola, and that would be an easy way to get some of the protein.
And something as
especially
simple
for
as a
breakfast.
cheese stick. That goes a long way. That can really take the edge off if you're feeling some hanger build up inside of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a good term, hanger.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that suggestion, when you're needing a snack, a cheese stick over like a handful of potato chips, the cheese is going to be the better option.
The cheese stick or a beef stick would be a better option to sustain you than the potato chips, for sure.
Now, meat, I think a lot of us expect when we're thinking about protein. Grains, some grains contain protein. What should we be looking for when we're working grains into our diet?
When we think grains, typically we think carbohydrate. However, there are a few grains that contain a little bit more carbohydrates. The grain typically varies anywhere between 3 to 8 grams per serving. And quinoa would be a good option. Wild rice would be a good option. Oatmeal has anywhere between 3 to 8 grams of protein. But again, if you make breakfast with oatmeal, you supplement the protein, adding nuts and seeds into there, or having Greek yogurt on the side.
Okay, that's a good idea.
You mentioned quinoa. I think it was over a year ago that you said that you would make quinoa for me, and it still has not come in. Thank you, Rasa, for reminding us of that. And it would be leaving me more satisfied.
Get right on that.
You did. Thank you. Hey, finally, nuts. I mean, this is easy. I love nuts as a snack, and it's the protein that's making me feel so satisfied for so long.
I think it's both protein and fat. However, nuts, a handful, have about anywhere between, again, 5 to 8 grams of protein per handful. So it's a pretty good snack to have between the meals.
Okay, now when we're talking about trying to sort of track your protein, I know a lot of dietitians will recommend keeping a food journal, really sort of getting this idea of what are we eating. And you have a 30-day challenge that you think we can take on to help us maximize our protein. So what are we doing?
Yes, so Beef Council has a 30-day challenge, which is very good ways in gradually incorporating protein into your day. So typically the behavior change doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
You won't wake up tomorrow morning and will have a full breakfast. You have to gradually build up your protein intake, and first of all, you have to be mindful that you need to have more protein. So when you start tracking your food, you will be able to notice where I'm missing in the protein and how much I need to add to make sure I have enough.
And the calendar that you guys have set up is really an easy way to just kind of keep track of every day and have a little goal for every day as you move forward. And then tell us about this journal, because it's more than just how much protein are you eating. There's some elements to this journal on how you're feeling when you're eating certain things.
Exactly. So a lot of times we talk about mindfulness, and we typically get disattached from our bodies. When we start journaling, we are more mindful of how do we feel.
Yeah.
So, you know, before the meal, we ask ourselves, how hungry are you? And then
Yes.
in the middle of the meal, we also can ask, I am satisfied. Should I continue to finish this meal, or should I stop at this particular moment? And a lot of times when we incorporate protein evenly throughout the day, we are more satisfied.
Okay,
That's
good
a useful
advice.
test, because
I
if you do it,
know.
and if you're right, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you actually set aside, in this case, 30 days to test it,
To
I bet
establish
you
a
end up
habit.
feeling a lot different when you alter your diet in that
Yeah,
way.
I
Yeah.
love that idea too of not just being focused on what not to eat, but being focused on
Yeah,
what to
right.
eat,
Exactly.
and then
That's a
how
more
you're
positive
feeling.
way of approaching nutrition.
With saying that,
anytime.
I'll take
Yeah.
another bite of my beef
Just do
steak.
it. Just do it, Rasa. Nice
Yeah,
to see you. Thank you so
yeah,
much. What a cool
absolutely.
challenge. So for more information or to sign up for the protein challenge, you can head to the Minnesota Beef Council's website. All the resources that you need are there. We want to say a big thank you to the Minnesota Beef Council for sponsoring Twin Cities Live and feeding Steve beef sticks. He's happier when he's not hangry.
Can you read this?
Why? What's wrong? You have your mouth full?